Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 9:34 p.m. Wet night, wet day. But we don't have the floods to have in Middleton. I seen the pictures of it there a while ago, and my God, I was only in it was it Wednesday or Thursday? I was in the Jameson distillery. Mighty facility altogether. I think there were 3 or 4 years building on the new part anyway, but it's well worth the visit. But it's sad to see that they're in such difficulty tonight in the town. Good luck to them. Where are we? We had what? We had University today first off for us. Finished an unlucky sort of third. Got him into a bit of bother in the middle of the track. I think if there was something close to him to run at, he would have probably won. He would drifted out to 12s and 14s today. I'd love to see him going up to 7 furlongs, or 6.5 even. There isn't much left for him this year. And we had Greek Flower winning. Leeds told us on Monday, Leeds FC, that he had won for Wednesday, and he did put it up yesterday or last night. He said he had the wage on it, so fair play to him. And I went with Mimikyu, Buzz Horse back to the last 3 times, second one evening from the same yard. You'd imagine that Haviland had the choice, and it was £8 better off than in a handicap, but drifted like a barge on account of the ground, I would say, and that destroyed the double. And that other one, I won't even mention it because I won't be looking at it again. It was eliminated from the tracker this evening. Shout out to Lee Jones. I said it last night, Lee, I didn't know his surname, it's Lee Jones, and he said to give a shout out to Stuart Cottrell. I did a few weeks ago, he mustn't have heard me, because he came on the bus for the first time, and I remembered the name. I don't know what video it was though. And I cannot go through. I have a stuff there in front of me. It'll take too long. My shorthand, nobody would know anything about, I'll tell you. Newcomer on the bus as well, Nick Andrew. You're very welcome. And if there's a couple of more, I'll get them again. Tomorrow. Not great fare tomorrow, sort of half dire straits, but there's a few interesting horses. There's a Mayor's Beginner's Chase in Thurles there tomorrow, Law Ella. It was a decent horse over, it won a bumper actually, and it won a maiden hurdle, and it was second in a grade 2 bumper in to second Ashroad Diamond. We know what that form is. But that horse made a great horse afterwards. But that was last April. Second into Deeply Superficial in Galway. And even though they were on 3 soft grounds, it seemed to be well beaten in a step up and trip on good ground. You'd imagine it is suited. But it has one on soft maiden hurdle in Downpatrick. Didn't stay the last day in Kilbeggan. Jumping is the key, of course, but it's a big, strong mare, and it was the best of them. With a bus horse there, it was the best of them over hurdles. I should have finished out that sentence. Presenting Doyen, I think that one at 107. Natural Look. It had that a couple of times. We had it when it won once, but it should have won another couple of times and it didn't. But Law Ella, if it gets a clear round and jumps without any blunder, should be up to winning that, I think. In Thurles, we'll stick with Thurles, who we're at it. There's a grand race there, 2 miles 7. Beacon Edge has transferred from the Noel Mead yard to Gordon Elliott. So his first run for 175 days. We have Cashback, a better chaser. But Aspire Tower is making his first run for 902 days. And I can't understand they're giving it a run at 2 miles 7. It never ran that far before. And first time out that distance. You'd imagine that they'd run it over 2 miles or 2.2 if there was something suitable. Because, like, for such a... has been off for so long. It hasn't ran any farther than 2 miles 1. Went to second in Cheltenham. So it would be given Beacon Edge £17 in a handicap. They're all carrying 11 stone there. So it's hard to know. Watch the betting in that race to see what happens. First time out, you'd imagine, even with the weight difference, Beacon Edge was probably a better stayer, but 9 years of age. Hard to know. I just had mentioned that race. Where are we? We're on to Chelmsford. No, we're at Thurles. There's a Mayor's Handicap hurdle here, and there was a horse walk out the last time for John Kiley. It was a bit unlucky, and it didn't go up Anton at all. It was fourth. We'll take a look at the race. It had a couple of decent runs there, and it was the first time it stepped up in trip. And where are we? It's on the rail in the blue and white, but it gets boxed in and it makes a blunder coming to the last. Probably would have won this race if it hadn't been crowded coming to the last and had made a hoorah with it altogether, but let's keep an eye on it. That's on the very right.
The leaders beginning to bunch up as they head in to the bottom turn with a good run before they reach the third last flight. Copper Coast Paddy towards the inside, Keith Lee towards the outer is London Office Calling between horses. Oh, here we go. Tour Moon making headway in white and green colours. Old Chap is not far off them and around the inside Walk Out as they approach the turn in. Towards the inside, Keith Lee, Tour Moon coming there strongly, one off the rail. Towards the outside, London Office Calling still there. Old Chap, Copper Coast Paddy beginning to fade as they head on. Approaching the third last flight, Tour Moon in white and green in the centre of the flight. Towards the outside, London Office Calling. Keith Lee is banged there over towards the inner. Just behind him, trying to get back into it, is Pour the Wine. Staying on from the back is Phil's Choice as they head down towards the second last, spread across the track. Towards the outside, London Office Calling. The centre, Tour Moon. Far side, Keith Lee, and we've lost Rossi's Tar unseated rider there. Heading down to the final flight. Towards the outside, London Office Calling. Tour Moon staying on from the back. On the outside is Phil's Choice. Old Chap is right there and coming through on the inner is Walk Out as they jump the last. They're bunching up. London Office Calling. Walk Out on the far side between them. Tour Moon. 50 yards to race. London Office Calling and Conor McNamara will win it from Tour Moon. Close for third with Walk Out on the inside.
The jockey's elbow got a belt from the other jockey just as he was getting up for the last. That's Rachel Blackmore is taken over tomorrow. Lightly raced horse, only 5. 7-2, 130. That's the second one I've picked. And then in the 7 o'clock at Chelmsford, the 6 furlong sprints, Batal Dubai, a good run over the course before when I got a trouble sort of a trip. But it run really well in Newcastle in July. I think I tipped it up at one point, but the run that it had there on the class 3 on the 14th of September. This is down to a class 4. Where are we here? It runs on well. It's behind in the light blue colours, and it had a trouble trip coming round to the last.
Pride, Batal Dubai tries to weave in between horses. Inside the final furlong and a half, heading to the furlong marker. Princess Shabnam's now tackled by Wiltshire. Just Call Me Pete ranges up on the inside. Wiltshire's got to the front from Princess Shabnam, and Just Call Me Pete driving to the line. Wiltshire tanked early, got home I think. Over Just Call Me.
Decent enough race that, and it was the time of it is in 1:10, and that was a good time for, well, a decent enough time for a Class 2. The musical tribute won in 1:10 as well, as sort of hosed up as well, pretty much the same time, but that was a Class 6. I thought, and Oisin Murphy is taking over tomorrow night for Charlton, and he's a good strike rate when he does take over for Charlton. If you look at the jockeys there, 13 mounts, he has 4 wins and 5 places. So in the 30% win, and in the money 75%. Like so, a go-to guy for the stable. He also has a decent chance, an each-way chance in the 7:30. If anyone wanted to back it, he was behind Tradesman the last time in the finish. He's on Socially Shady. But that was a 2-mile race, and Tradesman is more of a stayer over 2 miles. And if you stopped it at the 1/6 pole, Socially Shady it cruised into the race, I thought, better. Where was that race? Am I talking? It was in Chelmsford before, was it? I thought at 6-1 it'd be an each way shot. Yeah, it was in Chelmsford before, but that was Murphy taking over instead of Jimmy Quinn. But if anyone wanted to back that, I was looking at the Munster National is on Sunday in Limerick. I'll probably go. I went last year. If it's not piss and rain. I was looking at today the Goffer. There's 22 entered, and Gordon Elliott has 11, I think, in it. But the Goffer is only a 6-year-old, and the ground will probably be hop deep by the weekend. But if they put a £7, if they put I know what Danny Gilligan, if they put Danny Gilligan on this horse, it would be a good sign that it'd mean business. But he was third in Warwick on heavy ground last January, and he was fourth on soft ground in the Ultima to Corrick Rambler. He's only beaten 10 months. The only one bad run he had was sort of last year was in the Irish Grand National. He was pulled up, but he came back in good form then, and he was fourth, only beaten 14 lengths in the Bet 365 in Sandown, and that'd be over 3.5 mile. And he was running off 149 in England. He's off 145 now. So first run this year was in the Galway Plate behind Astray Meadow, and then an improved run again in the Kerry National. Only beat 9 3/4 lengths. So he seems to be, a 6-year-old horse. If now he has to run for starters, but I thought he ran pretty well that day. That was 3 mile. He won't be minding the soft ground, I think. And the price, he's 12-1 shot there with 12-1 shot there with Ladbrokes. I had a few pound on him each way today. That's a quarter of the odds paying the first 4. So it'd be grand even if he was in second, third, or fourth, because you're getting a quarter of the odds. You're getting 3-1. As you can see, there's a lot of Jigginstown horses there. So the jockey bookings will be significant when they come out. Another horse there we backed in was Jevray. And where do we back that? Was that in the stall? It was. It was pulled up. No, yeah, it was in the stall, was it? He got pulled up that time. There was a heap of money for him. But I just thought if anyone might want to have a look at that, that's when it's on Sunday. Oh, well done to Owen today. He put up a few. He had two places, I think, and a 22-1 winner, Giddy Ant. I think he tipped it at 18s and it hit the back of the net at 22s. Good man, Owen, keep them coming. And I think he had two places at nice prices as well. So, and Leeds, keep them coming. Get the wheelbarrow ready. We don't mind taking bookies' money. So bash the bookies over and out.